Welcome in to a pregame episode of the Skolcial Network with myself, Jason Harmon, in the Sam Darnold shirt because we support QB1. And Brev, do you have a beautiful sunset on your face by chance?
No, but it is a lamp.
It's a
So
very
close.
auburn-ish lamp. It looks a little like more tinted than usual.
Thank you.
Okay, it wasn't necessarily a compliment. It was more curiosity. But anyways,
Thank you so much.
it is kind of a full circle moment for us, Brev. Our first episode, do you remember what it was? Do you remember the
The
exact
Kirk
name of it?
Cousins Memorial.
Yes. I thought it was an ode to Kirk Cousins.
I think maybe.
Maybe we were both on the, yeah, one of us is right, one of us is wrong. Maybe we're both wrong, but yeah, it was that. And now here we are. He's looking it up. Great.
I am.
It could be a Kirk Cousins memorial now that you say it. I thought it was an ode to Kirk Cousins, but
I don't.
as you look it up, we're here. We're full circle. We are now hosting Kirk Cousins and the Falcons this weekend at US Bank Stadium on Sunday. I would ask you a question, but I know you're on a literal search to find answers. What is it? Kirk Cousins
Kirk
Memorial?
Cousins Memorial. Come
Damn.
on.
All right. All right. All right. Props where it's due. Props where it's due. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Shocker.
Man, I'll have to explain what's happening, but my Twitter's blowing up right now, based off a certain Detroit Lions safety and commenting on his style of tackling.
Well,
Uh,
good.
yeah, we're living in 2023 again. But what are you expecting Sunday in regards to the Kirk Cousins that comes back to US Bank Stadium? Because he has
So
not been good this last month.
no, he hasn't, and that's gonna be my point of what I'd like to say because I do a lot of referencing of boy math, and my boy math is if somebody's been playing poorly, then especially 2 games in a row, then they're probably going to turn that around, especially a good quarterback like Kirk. So by boy math, Kirk should probably have a good game. Therefore, by boy math, I will expect Kirk to have a good game on Sunday.
You said 2 games. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in a month.
Oh, yeah, hasn't I know like his last 2 game stretch was like
Is it a
awful.
month? I've heard it's a month. I don't know, dude. I can't keep track.
I think
Maybe
the last 2 weeks he's thrown like 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I haven't paid attention, dude. Let me check. So let's go to his last few games. No, wait, what? No, it's been the last. We were both wrong. So it has been a month because they had their bye week. Okay, woo. He has
Wow.
not thrown a touchdown since November 3rd, where he threw three.
Wow.
I was so worried I was about to start off 0 for 2 on claims at the beginning of this episode. Oh boy.
Well, I mean,
Technically
no,
there's a bye week in there, but yeah, 0-1 against the Saints, 0-1 against the Broncos, 0-4 against the Chargers.
good, good. So that reinforces boy math even more that Kirk Cousins should have a very good game tomorrow on Sunday. Today's Friday, right? Yep, Sunday.
Yes. Well, I agree in the narrative sense that that's correct, but I think in a logical sense something is wrong with him. Like I just think I saw some stat saying that the league average on under center handoffs is to run to the left the majority of the time, but
Mhm.
the Falcons are doing it like 70 to 80% of the time because Kirk cannot plant off of his right foot to extend on the handoff to his left. So there's like, I'm not like, oh, wow, Kirk is terrible. No, like, I don't think his arm disappeared in the course of a year, but I think that Achilles injury, especially at his age, and we talked about this in regards to should we consider resigning him, is definitely catching up a little bit.
Yeah, and I would even venture to say that I personally was kind of wrong about Kirk coming off the injury. Like I thought he was still going to be the same quarterback. His play wouldn't drop off that much. And that I would understand if the Vikings wanted to resign him. And I would have preferred the route that they have gone and drafting McCarthy. And theoretically, before the year, we thought this would be a transition year. Now we're talking about trying to go to the Super Bowl, but even in the re-signing Kirk stage of the offseason, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be like much worse than he is now. I think he's still gonna be a good quarterback, and he's been Kirk Cousins before the season, but there's been a lot more not good Kirk Cousins than we're usually accustomed to. And I'm sure some of that, it's not all the injury. I'm sure it's first year Kirk Cousins in a new system. Um,
Oh
he's
yeah,
really,
we've
he's
seen
really
that.
not. Yeah, other than like the Broncos game, like that's the one I can think of because it's recent. Like Atlanta's defense is really not good. But maybe that comes with paying Kirk Cousins a lot of money and the Vikings defense being pretty lackluster while he's been on the Vikings. And now that he's gone, suddenly the Vikings defense is really good. Maybe there's a correlation there. Don't know, but
Yeah. I will say one big factor, I don't know if you saw, but about 20 minutes before we recorded, the injury report came out.
okay, yeah, I didn't see it.
Gilmore out.
Yep.
I'm gonna go in questionable in order of who will probably least surprise you up to who is going to cause concern. ADAP and or ADEP, I guess, and Reichard are questionable. They're both in their
Who the
return
hell is
window.
ADAP?
Andrew DePala.
That's good. I
Just
like that.
people on the Twitter be saying things.
I know.
Uh Pat Jones,
Yeah.
Harrison Phillips,
Hmm.
Dalton Reisner,
You're not stopping, are you? There's
Andrew
one.
Van Ginkel.
Okay. That sucks.
Listening to the press conference, I think Ben Gosling does a good job in this tweet summing up basically the vibe I got, which is he said that the Vikings will make a decision on Reichard today. He said he's looked good all week, and he seemed optimistic about most of the other players listed as questionable.
Positive spin zone on Andrew Van Ginkel potentially missing the game. Dallas Turner snaps. Always a positive spin zone when you get Dallas Turner involved.
And as much as you can for a rookie, probably a little bit of a chip on his shoulder in this one, since he did spend a good amount of time with the Falcons and was widely, and I would borderline say almost unanimous. Obviously, there's people who mock draft just to literally mock the mock draft process.
Mhm.
Um, but he was pretty consistently their pick in every projection. So there might be there's a significant financial drop off between pick 8 and what did they end up being 17 we traded up to.
Yep. I
So
did myself like up around 100 mock drafts, both seriously and not seriously. And like just playing with it all draft season. And I would say on 98% of them, Dallas Turner was a Falcon. So there should be some chip.
it's this is just going to be one of those games where no matter what happens injury wise, it doesn't change the fact I think it'll either be a close game or the Vikings dominate. I don't see the Falcons running all over us. Now, not to say that couldn't happen. Like we went into that Dallas game in 2022 thinking those were two evenly matched teams and that the Vikings actually had an advantage. And look what happened. Second episode in a row that I brought that game up, by the way. Um, if you want to know if it still scars me.
Mm,
Um, but obviously out of that group, the two that you need the absolute most are Harrison Phillips and Van Ginkel. Um, I would say who goes in if Phillips is out? Redman?
probably Redman.
Okay, maybe not actually. Maybe,
Because Taimani, he's on IR, isn't he?
yeah. But then we just have another UDFA in Jalen Redmond. I let Quasey do everything and just get someone to help him with drafting. And oh my God, our roster is going to be impenetrable.
Yeah. Or just take away Quasey's draft picks and just let him have UDFAs.
That also could work. And then Van Ginkel, I know Cashman when he was out, it was Gruger Hill, and obviously with Pace being out, that complicates. Or no, Pace is fine, isn't he? I thought he for some reason I thought he was hurt.
I thought he was.
I
Like
thought he was too. Oh
short
no,
term
yeah,
IR.
short-term IR. He is. I forgot with short-term IR. Yeah, they don't show up on the injury report. Duh.
Yeah.
So who would go in for Van Ginkel?
There's probably some kind of mixture of Pat Jones and
But Pat
Uh,
Jones is also on the list.
oh dang it, Jihad Ward,
Yeah.
Gabe Murphy.
I keep
Hope
every
not.
week. Every week.
That'd
It's
be
is
tough.
this the Gabe Murphy week? And then now it's the is this the Dwight McLeodern week? I don't know. It'll get dicey. But I think at how do I put this? Van Ginkel's best attribute is his ability to take advantage of the and I'm not saying he's not good at pass rushing because he is, but better. He's the best at taking advantage of the pass rush that Grenard creates and being
Yes.
able to jump off, pressure or whatever he's doing and be able to get into coverage or disrupt a screen, whatever that is. So, like, we obviously are going to need that, especially if Kirk's arm isn't there and we're doing a lot of short, Kirk Cousins doing short checkdowns or screens. I couldn't imagine that
Good thought.
personally, but Watch watch him come out and throw for like 600 yards.
Probably. I mean, if Van Gink, like honestly, I would be more concerned if Grenard was questionable or like if Blake Cashman
Yeah.
was questionable. So,
Yeah. I mean, again, like not to downplay, Andrew Van Ginkel's personally, like as a player, my favorite defensive addition. Grenard's, I think, the best and most impactful, but like, you have your favorites. Um, I think that like what he brings to the game, I think it's easier to replicate than just the pure pass rush prowess is Jonathan Grenard.
yes. And it's not a bad thing when the person that can step in for Andrew Van Ginkel to take most of his snaps is a first round rookie, one of the best defensive players in the draft. So,
I guess we'll see. This is going to be such a weird game. And here's the thing is my gut tells me all of these guys will play except maybe Reichard or Andrew DePaula. And I think Andrew DePaula is set to play, but then they still have to we're going to know from the corresponding roster moves with like Jake McQuaid and
mhm.
maybe we keep Roma. There's a lot that is going to come from this that's going to be really interesting as far as potentially a ton of roster adjustments that need to be made before Sunday.
Yeah, I'd say keep Reichard, and I mean, if ADEP is good to go, then fine. But I'd say give Reichard another week.
I think that's a good idea, just because Romo's been really solid, and I obviously wouldn't want to risk losing him if Reichard has a chance to re-injure himself.
Yep.
So, with that, because we're recording from Zoom today, and that's a little different than our usual streaming platform, so we have a little bit limited time. This time, Brev, it is not giving me a timer, so I don't know. Zoom is all
I have
different now.
no idea.
I have no idea what's happening, but we've been going for a little bit. What are your actual predictions for Sunday?
So I get my prediction posted on VikingsTerritory.com in an article by Dustin Baker every week. And I try to keep my predictions lined up exactly. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. I'm raising up two fingers. You just couldn't see off camera. Um, I told Dustin that my prediction for this game is a Falcons victory 28-24. And I think this might be the first time I've maybe other than might have predicted San Fran to beat us, but I think this is my first time on here predicting that the Vikings lose.
If we lose, the great news is I can blame you now.
Yeah. And truthfully, I think the Vikings will probably win, but I want to mentally prepare myself for us losing to Kirk Cousins.
I mean, it's a no lose scenario because are you the only one in that article that said we would lose?
Oh, I have no idea. It doesn't get posted till tomorrow, I
That's what I
think.
was just, well, I didn't know if you had some insight preview maybe, but yeah, either we lose and you're like, we lost, it sucks, but I was right that we would lose. Look at me. Or it's, oh, I was wrong, but hey, my team won. I have the Vikings winning 28-19.
It's a good score.
I'm gonna go with a very weird scoring
Oh,
situation.
that would be a sweat because the over under is probably like 46 and a half. So that's a 47 or that would be a sweat.
It's like at least I was working off numbers from FanDuel earlier this week, but I just thought it's gonna be one of those games where everyone is like mad for a different reason.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think
this
to get
should,
to 19, we'd have to do, yeah, 4 field goals and a touchdown or a safety
yeah.
in there somewhere.
Yeah, I guess the most realistic path to that is they kick 3 or 4 field goals early and are trying to score a touchdown toward the end to get it close. But
Yeah, but that would also require Koo making kicks, which apparently lately hasn't happened.
fair. My young Hokudo
It's great. One of the greatest all time.
in my
Uh,
head every single time he's on the screen.
yeah,
Every single
NFL. I say it, and my wife is like, "Can you?" I never want to hear that come out of your mouth, and I'm like, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Fair.
I have the Vikings. What I say, 28-19. Yeah, I got
28-19.
28-19, and you had the Falcons 28-24.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where, and it's so funny because Dustin had posted about uh 2 or 3 days ago, he didn't think Vikings fans should boo Kirk, and then his own wife disagreed with him apparently, which he also shared. So it's going to be a very interesting crowd.
Yeah.
It seems pretty much split down the middle that people are going to boo very loudly because it's Kirk, slash they just like to boo the opposing team,
Yeah.
or they're not going to boo Kirk, but Kirk is usually going to be out there with the rest of the Falcons. So I
Mm-hmm.
would hope you're still loud. I hope it's
Yeah.
not, hey, thank you, Kirk Cousins. Let me give you an easy offensive drive. I don't know. It's going to be a very weird vibe, I think, as far as different people in the crowd having completely different energy levels.
I assume when you're talking about booing a former player, I don't really think like during the game, no matter what, you should be booing them. But I think whenever somebody says that, they're talking about like that player coming out into the field for warm-ups or for the first time or whatever.
I mean, at US Bank, typically, like, yeah,
We cheered Adrian and booed the shit out of him during the game.
I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
think I'm trying to think. Typically, when US Bank opens the doors, players are already on the field warming up without pads. And
Mm,
then it's kind of hit or miss as far as when the away team, if they come out together for
yeah.
warm-ups or position groups come out.
I,
I've seen
I
it
should have
done
said when
differently.
they
So,
I should have said when they come out in uniform, not for like warm-ups, like
well, yeah, but even then, you don't know if the whole team's coming out because sometimes they all
yeah,
whole offense, sometimes they'll just the quarterbacks come out. It's hit or miss depending on what that team
yeah,
wants to do. So I'm very curious if people get offended that Kirk Cousins is getting booed when in reality they're just booing the opponent. I don't know.
yeah.
It's
I
people are going
mean,
to get in their feels about it on Twitter regardless.
yeah, I disagree with Dustin, but I'm not gonna like tear him down. I understand what he's saying completely that Kirk
Oh
was
yeah.
an epitome of class or whatnot, but like
Did you just?
also
I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. The what?
did I say the epitome of class?
Yeah, what's that word, Brev?
I don't remember.
I've slipped up, especially this last week's episode, because I was sick, and you just said epitome instead of epitome.
Did I say it? People say epitome. I promise some people say epitome. I know epitome.
It's epitome.
Am I crazy? I've heard no, like I know reading it's a, but like I've heard people say epitome.
Am I having a stroke right
I
now?
might
What
be
is
no,
going
I'm
on?
probably the stupid one, but I swear to God, I've heard people say epitome. Maybe, and they could be wrong, but
In
that
the
like
comments, this maybe the only explanation I have is that this is a regional thing, West Coast, East Coast, whatever. Um, please, which one of us is going crazy right now?
probably both.
Comment down below and also click the link above for Dr. Squatch so you too can look good and smell good, but also not pronounce good.
Yeah, true, and we'll dive more into that too. Um, Kirk Cousins was the epitome of class, I guess, while he was in Minnesota. If I were there, I'm not gonna be there, obviously. I would boo him. And I would boo him because he was supposed to be the piece in 2018 that brought everything together. I don't care that he's a nice guy and put chains on and was super nice and super cool and he was funny during COVID. If I die, I die. Like that doesn't matter to me. When we are 10-2, he's coming back into our house. We're trying to make a push to win the NFC North. Like I don't care about that. I care that he came short. He's a great guy, but as a football player, maybe he wasn't put in the best situations, but he did not live up to the expectation. He was a good quarterback. I'm going to need more than one playoff win after giving you $200 million over the course of your time with the Vikings. But also, I'm not going to be an aggregator that provides no original thought and only reports news from other people and tear Dustin down for what he said as well.
Yeah, no, I
It might
don't
have been
think
direct shade, and I will name the purple persuasion. I don't care.
you're not even on Twitter and you're throwing
I'm
shade.
glad.
Look
I'm
at
glad.
this.
I'm glad what he does, but tearing somebody down when you have no original thoughts and you're just aggregating information, like you don't have anything to stand on.
I'll say this because I understand 100% Dustin's perspective. Although, like you, I would also do differently. Um,
Yeah.
I wish Kirk, Julie, and the kids.
Oh, and Boom Boom Skull. He's glazed me before, but like you're weird. Go ahead.
Okay. I wish Kirk, Julie, and the kids nothing but blessings and happiness throughout their entire
Yes.
life. I thank them for their contributions to this team and to the community and for doing a lot of great things while being part of the Vikings organization. I hope they have years of health and happiness ahead. But I hope Sunday, from the second Kirk Cousins walks into that stadium, he does not have a single millisecond to hear himself think or to process the defense or to even get the ball out of his hands. I hope he is down on the ground the second that ball gets snapped to him. I hope every pass he throws is intercepted. I hope he walks into the visitor locker room hanging his head after a 40-point loss. And then he
Yeah.
goes home to his beautiful family and has a wonderful rest of the year.
Oh yeah. Healthy. Great Christmas. Great New Year's Eve. I just hope Sunday really sucks. And I want to make it clear we do make more than $2 from this. At least that was an original thought. It's like $3,
Yeah.
but yeah, I hope Kirk has a
Anyways.
great night or
Anyways.
something.
I hope he has a miserable 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. All right, I'll give it longer, 3 p.m. just in case there's like some, fluky clock management.
Yeah.
12 to 4 p.m. uh Central Time. I hope it's just absolutely miserable for him. Hope he stays healthy, but I hope nothing goes right on that football field for him and that the Minnesota crowd is in his head and is just wrecking that entire Atlanta offense.
I hope the ride home sucks too. I hope it's safe. Like I hope he doesn't. I don't hope he gets in a car crash or anything. But like I hope it's a good.
For two dudes not from Minnesota who are Minnesota sports fans, this is the most Minnesota nice way that we could talk
Mhm.
crap possible. So I think we've been adopted in at this point.
Hope he gets food poisoning from Pizza Ranch.
Hey, do not speak ill of Pizza Ranch.
Non lethal.
Pizza Ranch is freaking goated, dude. Okay, don't
Never
speak ill.
never
I
had it.
went in Stillwater, Minnesota. It was the best meal I've ever had. It was 2 hours after my wife and I found out we were having our second kid while we were on vacation, and we stress ate so much pizza, fried chicken, and salad bar. It was incredible.
Is it like CC's? Like I don't.
No, it's significantly better. It's more like Shakey's, which you probably don't have.
I've never
Might
even
be
been to
like CC's.
CC's, so
I,
I don't
I think
know.
I've never been to CC's. But with that, Zoom is probably going to kick us off soon. So we will see you guys with our post game thoughts. Probably Monday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But with that, this has been the Skolcial Network. Brev, tell the people where they can get some savings on Dr. Squatch real quick before we run out of time.
Where can you get savings? There's many places you can get savings. You could get the generic store brand, as opposed to the brand name. You
I
could
said before we ran out of time, Brev, there's a hypothetical clock ticking that's going to kick us out.
pay Sam Darnold $10 million and get better results instead of paying Kirk Cousins $45 million and getting the same results you got for the last 5 years. And you can also go to the link in the description to use the link to get $10 off a purchase to $20 or more from Dr. Squatch. If you want to smell good, if you want to stop living chronically online like I've stopped doing, check it out. My personal favorite's Wood Barrel Bourbon. I haven't tried any of the Christmas scents yet myself, but I'm sure they're great. Sure, they're jolly. Sure, Santa's a nice guy. Sure, Santa's using Dr. Squatch. Sure, Kirk is using Suave or something. But yeah, you can use that link, $10 off your purchase of $20. If you want to feel like a man and smell like Skolcial.
SeatGeek. tickets for
Mm-hmm.
games, concerts, more. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
used it. It's the best deal you can find out there. Not going to have a bunch of crazy fees and that $150 ticket suddenly 400. Save even more money. Use code Brev or code JasonH for $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. I'll be up for Monday Night Football next week. Hopefully I catch you guys there. We've
Mm-hmm.
been the Skolcial Network. We'll see you in a couple days. Skol Vikes, and Kirby Joseph is the dirtiest player in the NFL.
Wow.